Again, you're not wrong. It's just that there are reasons behind it.
Yeah,
Common
but if that
knowledge.
is the case, right? So this is what I'm questioning is the basis for this case, right? If it were the case that that were true, then
Which it is.
if it is, then why doesn't a woman even or a man just hire a firm of these women and pay them less than the firm that are hiring?
And what I mean by it's true, that what the black girl was saying, like it's true. Watching a woman get the same as a guy if she can't do the same thing he can. That's what I mean.
Men because they would make a killing with an all-woman staff.
You tell me. I don't know. I'm not a dude. I'm not making that decision. If I hired a firm full of women, you bet I would pay them just as much as I'm.
First thing first, you shouldn't ever hire a team literally full of women. Like, no, no, no. You won't do it. I will have let's say I have like 3 managers. I will have one of my managers be a woman. Oh, for sure. One of them would be a woman for sure. Even 2 managers. One of them for sure gonna be a woman. But like a squad full of women? Oh, bro, hell no. Hell no. It is not the fact that women can't do it. That's not the issue. The issue is women don't like each other. Y'all don't like each other. Y'all hate each other. So y'all get jealous fast as shit. Talk about who get paid more or how this girl looks. Y'all get in workplaces, start talking shit about each other. It's just dramatic. Nope. Nope. Too much. No.
Like,
Too
I'm not
much.
going to pay them less. That seems
Yeah, but
backwards.
you would think a man would, right?
Potentially. I mean, I don't know who's been paying us less. I don't think it's women.
Well, then if it's men, then why wouldn't a man just have a firm of all women and pay them
Yeah,
less?
answer that question.
If they get the same amount of work out of them.
I mean, that's a question for a dude. I can't answer that. Like,
Why couldn't you answer that?
Yeah, like, what the
why
hell?
wouldn't a man have a firm of all women and pay them less? I don't know.
I mean, because then they would destroy the competition. Who's
Yeah.
paying the men more, right?
Right.
Okay, so I mean, why don't we see that then? If that's the
Because
case,
it's not
doesn't
the case
exist.
that men are making more in those
Yeah,
positions than women are. If it
that
was
don't
the
exist.
case that you could pay women
that's
less
not
to do the same
true.
job, then why wouldn't you just make a firm and pay all of them way less for the same job?
So you're talking about the wage gap, right? So
Yeah.
why don't you tell us what your sense of the wage gap is? Because there's these numbers that get thrown around. Women make 77 cents on the dollar as compared to men. Is that what you're talking about when you
Yeah.
say the wage gap?
Yeah.
So what is the number that you think it is?
It's around that.
Like 80 cents on the
Something
dollar?
like that,
Nick,
and
can
then
you-
women of color make even less.
Yeah, Nick, we have something on that too. So 2 things, Nick. The pay scale website on the wage gap. And then there's also, so you just do Google pay scale, wage gap. And then also in the infographics folder, there is the, hold on. There's the wage folder. And in it, you mentioned women. You mentioned
Brian seems like a
women of-
math. He seems like if he would have never done this, I could see him being like a math teacher, or like a math like something because he's so like organized and like very like good with like handling a certain amount, like a good amount of people, but then he get frustrated, like frustrated with somebody not paying attention. Kind of remind me of a teacher. Like it's like he chill as fuck. Like, hey, like this teacher, he chill as shit. But you make him mad, bro? Hell nah.
color. So Nick, you're gonna pull up it's in the wage gap folder, the Asian women one. But it's not number 2. It's the one in the middle with the straight lines. Do the Asian women first, then we'll do pay scale. Okay, so you mentioned women of color. Actually, Asian women out-earn white men. This is the median weekly earnings of full-time workers, white men versus Asian women. That's 2 minority categories.
In higher paying jobs is what you're saying.
No, across the board.
All jobs.
Doing a comparison to comparison.
All jobs.
So my understanding of how this is from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. They just take all the earnings of men, all the earnings of white men compared to all the earnings of Asian women. Now these are all full-time workers, mind you. Now the wage gap that you referenced earlier, that encompasses all the money that men bring in and all the money women bring in. So it could be making a comparison of a woman who has a part-time job as a barista. And part of that data is also comparing it to men who work on oil rigs who get hazard pay.
And then where are you guys pulling your stuff from?
Nick, you can pull up PayScale. PayScale is a fairly, it's actually pretty, I think it's actually pretty left-leaning. It's a fairly reputable company. Can you scroll down, Nick? There should be like a circle chart. Scroll down. Okay. Can you scroll in on that one? You might even be able to right-click and I don't know if it's an image. The gender pay gap in 2024. So the uncontrolled gender pay gap, which is what you're talking about, women earn 83 cents for every $1 earned by
Where
men.
you're including like part-time and all that.
Well, this is where you're not factoring, you're not controlling for anything. So it's all the money that women make, all the money that men make.
Okay.
But it's not factoring in for the fact that, for example, all men collectively work more hours than women. They're more likely to work overtime. They're more likely to relocate. They're more likely to work hazard pay, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Wait, pull it back up real quick. The controlled gender pay gap. So this measures median salary for men and women with the same job and qualifications.
All men and all women.
All men, well, it's same job, same qualifications.
Okay.
So if you actually control for each of these things and you start removing these variances like hours worked, different job field, different choices, it shrinks down to 99 cents.
It's still below.
Right, but it's still...
You make a penny less than a man? Man, that's rough.
Penny
But
over
Crazy.
time.
Well, let me ask you this, just out of
Crazy.
curiosity. I always wondered this question. Even if it were true that men who owned firms of some type or another did hire women at a lesser wage than they hired men, who the fuck cares? Why is that even a problem? If they're just like, I just don't want these fucking women to make as much as the men that I hire, why is that actually a problem?
I mean, it's a moral problem.
What is the moral problem?
I mean, that dude's like a piece of shit.
Why? Why would it make him a piece of shit?
Because he doesn't value women as much as he values men.
He doesn't value their labor as much.
But
Yeah.
if it's the same labor,
Even if it's the same labor, he just doesn't value it as much.
well, then I think that says something about how he values women.
Yeah, but how would it actually be immoral? Like, why would it be immoral, for instance, if you owned a business, you said, right?
Well, hey, y'all, I know this is off topic, but what she just said, she said, it makes him a piece of shit. He doesn't value women. I hope whoever agrees with her, women, any girl who agrees with her, y'all keep the same energy. If a guy comes to you and say you're a piece of shit 'cause you don't value men, how y'all talk shit about men, or you hate men, you're a piece of shit. You don't value men, you're a piece of shit. And so then you're hey, you okay with being a piece of shit? Hey, you okay with being a piece of shit?
Hmm?
Why would it actually be immoral for you to be like, I just don't want to fucking hire men at all? I just don't want to even fucking hire them because I don't like their faces. Why would that even be actually immoral or problematic?
I think it's problematic because you're not considering different perspectives that can contribute to the work that you're doing.
But it's yours. Why do you need to consider other perspectives? Like, fuck the other perspective. It's your shit, right? Like, if you found a business, right, and you built it up for 10 years and you're going to start hiring people, and you're like, I don't fucking like women. I just don't like them. I don't like them, so I'm not going to hire any. I was thinking about this, and I was trying to figure out what's actually immoral about that.
I mean, I guess I just think it speaks to like the person's values essentially, like that they don't.
John Smith donated $200.
Hey, John, thank you, man.
The reason these feminists and angry women are so upset is because they don't have a man to tell them to calm down and relax.
Are you gonna do it, John Smith?
Thank
Calm
you, John
down.
Smith.
Calm down. Relax.
Oh my God.
Relax.
I think I just came.
What the
Oh
fuck?
my God.
But anyway.
What the?
Yeah, so I was just wondering if you could elucidate me why you would actually think that was immoral. I get that you
Well,
wouldn't
because
like it.
you're saying I don't like women. I don't want like that's such a like I don't think that that's like good moral standards to just like it kind of relates to all the shit that we've been talking about with her and how she wants to hurt men and shit, right? Like it doesn't feel so far away from that.
Yeah, I mean maybe not, but Let us assume that a man goes,
And she was just like, it's crazy. And if she ever, let's say, I don't know if she, what she stand at, but let's say she ever get, or she ever have like a nephew or a male cousin, something that's a male and she loves dearly, dearly. I hope like she don't like, I hope doesn't like, I hope something don't happen to that person because it's like what you karma, like karma hits you, bro. Like it gonna hit you. So she talking bad, like she could be talking bad about men, hating them, doing dirty shit because they men. It going to come back and get her. It's going to come back. Either going to get her or somebody she loves. It's going to come back.
you know, a woman's labor, right? It's worth as much as a man's. And insofar as the labor she actually does and the labor he's actually doing is about the same. But they just cause so many fucking problems, right? They cause all sorts of issues. They complain a lot. They're always at the HR department because they got too flirty with a guy at work. They're just a pain in the fucking ass to deal with. They're just a pain in the ass. And if I have an all-male workforce, I don't have to deal with any of those fucking problems.
But you have to
That
deal
seems
with
like
a
it's a
whole slew
really
of other
justified and
problems.
reasoned
But
reason.
Are you saying that all women are like that and that women are just causing problems in the
I'm gonna
workplace? Because I don't
I'm
think
gonna
that I've
actually
ever been like that in the
assume
workplace.
most women aren't like that.
Okay.
But I'm going to assume that there's enough of them that are that you're still gambling.
You could
And
say
that if it's even
it's
20%,
interesting.
I can understand.
It only takes one. It, it literally takes one woman to mess it all up. One to whole system. One. And that's not even trying to be on. That's not even trying to be on no asshole shit. But that's just in facts. Like think about it. Let's say you work in a warehouse, right? Yo, everybody in there joke, you're all cool. The new girl comes, right? Y'all joke, y'all cool. About a month later, she try to join again. Next thing you know, there's drama out of nowhere. We like, what the fuck going on? And a new girl part of it. Now, now, all the girls that was already working there now hate the new girl. See, now dramatic. Now it's drama. But it was okay before she even came. So yeah, it only take one. It literally only takes one. Takes one.
The rationale and could not say it was immoral for a person to be like, yeah, I don't want to fucking deal with all that. I literally
not
just don't
hire.
want to deal with it.
To not hire them.
Yeah, to just not hire
that,
them.
Yeah.
To
Like,
just
if,
be
like,
like,
I have my
"Ah."
own business. I mean, I don't plan on hiring anybody. I like just working for myself. But I could see that if someone was like, oh, I just don't want to hire them, I don't think that that's an issue. But if it was like, oh, I'm going to hire them, they're doing the same work, but I'm paying them less because I think that they're doing more complaints. Like, I don't know. I think that, sorry, I lost my train of thought. But I just don't think that like all women are just inherently like gonna cause problems or like these
I
complaints.
totally
Okay, that's why I wanted to
completely
make
100%
sure.
agree.
Yeah.
But let's say it's 10%, which is a lot. That's
Right.
a lot. So
Can you
that's
just fire the
that's
one
like,
who is?
That's like 1 in 10 women that you hire. Well, but the problem's already caused, right? The issue's already there, and you're like, in this factory, right? I can have a hot dog or a guy put the fucking hot dogs on the little pallet, and then it goes up, or I can have a woman do it. They do it about as fast. They do about as much work, but I never have to deal with the.
Do you think
it's
there's
getting
a little bit
harassed,
of
I
inherent
was-
sexism though in that? Like I think there's like a little bit of inherent
but
sexism in your words.
my question is not whether or not it's sexist.
Okay.
My question would be, who cares if it is? Why would that be a problem to be sexist under those circumstances?
I just don't
So in
understand
other words, sexism itself, I'm not sure is immoral in and of itself if it's indicating a behavior that you're trying to avoid. So for instance, wouldn't it be sexist? Well, I'll explain. Wouldn't it be sexist, for instance, for you at night to walk across the street if a group of men are moving towards you?
Oh my god. Yes, because I would not change what I was doing if I saw a group of women. If I saw a group of men, I would be a million times more likely that I'm going across
So are
the
you
street.
sexist?
I think it's just.
I mean,
Hang on. Are you
I-
sexist?
Well, for my own protection, in that case, I would say yes.
For your
Yeah.
own protection.
Protection, yeah, you made it right. Oh shit, yeah.
In that case,
Yeah.
yes, I will be sexist.
That's
Aren't
great,
we
yeah.
saying the exact same thing?
Although mine could be life or death, yours
Hang
is
on.
not a life or death.
Wait,
Are those
wait,
different?
Or right? It could be the life and death of your business. And yeah, that's basically to the
is your
financial
livelihood, your family,
ruinations, your
right.
life, family, everything else. I agree that maybe the stakes are slightly higher from the physical aspect, but the principle's the same. I'm sexist towards this group because even though most people in this group aren't going to do this, enough of them will
Right.
that I feel like crossing the street, probably a good idea. And do you think men would blame you for doing that? Fuck no. They're like, go across the street.
Right.
We know that there's predatory men. Fuck yeah.
Right.
So why would men get blamed for not wanting to hire women for that's my thing. That's why I'm like, is it immoral?
I have a question. You said
Yeah.
men do like you're saying that would you say 10 or 5% of women cause problems in the workplace?
Well,
Or, like,
we're just
there's a risk of
we're
it,
just
or
assuming it for
Would you
like the
not-
sake of the hypothetical.
Would you not say the same thing about men?
No.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. If you
What
have
about the men that can't keep it in their pants
you-
at work and
Yeah.
Jealousy,
But are you, hang on,
competitiveness.
but are you going to have that problem if you have an all-male workforce?
But you're saying if
hang on,
I
hang on.
hire
But what if
Hang
it's an
on.
all-woman workforce?
Yeah, but if it's an all-woman workforce, then you have catty, backstabbing, fucking all
Same with
sorts of
men.
other
Do
issues.
you not have
You don't have
that?
the my dick is bigger
Listen.
than yours. Like I sell more than
Do
you
you,
are.
then let's test this, okay? Do you
It's
think
rare.
that
That's rare.
at all female private schools versus all male private schools, there's more complaints from the students who are men or more complaints from the students who are girls?
I just
If you had to
Yeah.
guess,
Yeah.
probably the girls.
why hang on? Well, wait.
Don't say
Why, you
probably.
think that?
Don't
I
say
think
probably
that
though.
girls are just more vocal about it, though their complaints.
So
than men are.
then they're going to
Men
cause
just
more.
fight each
So hang
Yeah,
on.
exactly, men
So
fight
wait a
each other.
second. So if I have a workforce of men who have complaints but shut their fucking mouths about them versus a workforce of women who have complaints and don't, which one would I want to hire?
But I think the all women workforce and all men workforce have equal amount of problems. They're just different.
Yeah,
You're
no,
not.
if you're
She's
saying,
not getting what the fuck he's saying. I don't think she's getting what he's saying. Like even if let's say the all male workforce in an all workforce, the all male work they both equally have 20 problems, right? But the male workforce shuts up about it. They don't say anything about the 20 problems. But a female workforce always talk about the 20 problems. Eventually, that 20 going to turn into 40 and double and keep doubling up. That's pretty much what he's saying.
that one of them's complaining constantly and the other one's not complaining constantly.
Yeah, that's pretty much what
already
he's
a big
saying.
problem.
Kind
Women
of a
necessarily
fucked
complain in their
hypothetical,
work in the
honestly.
workforce. I think there's some level of professionality that women have when it comes to working that they're just not going to be sitting there complaining 24/7.
Really? Well, let me ask you a
A
question.
competent woman, yes.
Let me ask you a question. And give me
Yeah.
your honest
Yeah.
answer. Okay. Let's assume you had two different offices that you could choose from. One office employed 300 women. The other office employed 299 men and you. Okay. 299 men plus you. Which office would you prefer to work at?
Which one's better? Or are you saying they're equal?
They're equal. They give you the same pay, right?
I don't think it really matters. I mean, at that
Yeah.
point, it would be
Which-
which one I would be happier with.
Yeah, which one do you
people
think you'd
I
be
like
happier with?
more. Depends on who the boss is. How like
The
does
boss
it-
is a man in one.
in both cases.
No, and the other one it's a woman.
I don't really think there's a difference. to
No,
me.
you wouldn't care?
I wouldn't care.
There
at
would be
all,
no preference?
I mean, maybe if like the male one, because I'd feel like, oh, I'm kind of special, but like that's it, because I'm the only woman that was hired. Like I'm, but like.
And you don't think
besides
that would have
And
anything
that
to
would
do
have-
with the fact that there would be way less catty bullshit, backstabbing?
And with her doing that, that would cause a problem. Like that would be a problem. She would go there for the attention. She's the only girl there. And if they hire another girl, and if they hire another girl, then your attention will go away.
Bitching,
That's the
whining,
problem.
complaining, telling you all about how such and such is a mean
Well, I
bitch.
think
The second she walks out of the room to you,
I think you're
and you have drama clicks all over the place.
I don't disagree with
man,
that, but I'm
like-
saying those men have equal issues.
No,
Just in
we don't do
different
What
that.
ways.
happens
So
on a
if you're
construction-
one
here's
woman
what
with a bunch of
happens-
men, like
I would
you're
feel
gonna,
way more
Yeah, I
comfortable
would
with a
feel
bunch
more
of women.
safe.
I
I
would
would
feel more
Here's what-
connected to them. I would
Here's
work
what
better. I
happens.
would be
Here's
more
what happens.
motivated.
Here's what happens on a construction site, right, or something like this. They're all fucking exhausted from working their asses off, and they don't have time to whine and complain and click and do all that shit. They just don't. And inside of office spaces, sales spaces, things like that, yeah, there's a bit of that for men. But to say it's anywhere on par like it is for women, you talk to women who are in these sales jobs, and they're like, oh my God, these fucking bitches are awful. They're backstabbers, they're connivers, they
Nah,
click.
with guys, it'd be more so in a cell, like in like an office space. I think it'd be more so like let's say a new guy come in and he and like I walk into I meet a new guy, I'm showing him around. I'll just be like, yeah, no, this is Tim. He cool. That's John. John cool. Fuck, John. Oh, he got a boat. He own a boat. He be always fishing down the lake. And then this is Steve. Steve, man, he's 50 years old. He been here for like 40. He been not 50. He been here for like shit 25, 30 years or some shit. This nigga never left. Then oh yeah, nigga, that's that dude. That's that dude, David. Yeah, David, he cool. He be tripping sometimes. He be a bitch, but it's what he cool. He be tripping though. Anyways, so that's how guys do it. Like we kind of just like we kind of just brush it off. Like he cool. He alright. Like he straight. He just be a bitch sometimes. Like just be cool. Just kind of chill around him. Like we kind of just say it. Girls, y'all be trying to really be at each other's throats.
Click up. If you're not part of the clique, they're just horrible, insufferable.
I think that's like putting a very like big stigma on women. I don't think, especially in
It
a
is putting a
workforce,
very big stigma on, but the question is whether or not the stigma is deserved.
I think no. I think especially that's like one thing that I said. Like I would say I disagree with the podcast that the women that are selected to usually be on this podcast are somewhat kind of like that and represent a different kind of like the more problematic side of women, which I agree a large majority of women can be problematic.
You ever talked to a hairstylist before?
I mean, yes.
Well, have they ever told you what it's like to work in the beauty industry?
I got my hair done 3 days ago. She was talking to me about how all the sororities girls come in and they talk shit all on each other, and she just hears it
all day.
all day.
All
Every
day.
I'm not disagreeing.
Man,
with her.
sororities.
But
Oh
that's
my
the thing, is
gosh.
that's why the stigma.
Oh my
exists.
gosh.
The stigma.
I-
The stigma exists
Ooh, my
specifically
college years.
because of the
My
application.
college
So what
year.
I'm saying to you is, if she's willing to cross the street based on her sexism, there's this low percentage of men who are actually predatory. In fact, almost every man you walk by in the middle of the night is not going to do anything to you. Do I blame you for crossing the street, though? Not
No.
really.
Not at all,
Not
actually.
really, because I can understand, I can rationalize in my brain why a woman would want to do that. And I
Yeah,
recommend my
fully
wife
understand.
to do it. She's walking down the street in the middle of the night
Yep.
under some circumstance, cross the
Do
street.
you have
That's
a wife?
totally rational. Yes, I have a wife. Totally rational to me. Okay. But it's equally rational to me then to say, okay, if I had a firm, right, and there was some inbuilt sexism based around the stigma, would it be rational for me to only want to hire men? I think it's rational to say I only would want to hire men. I don't think it's immoral that a person would move down that thought pattern of I'll only hire X based on social stigmas, which can cause serious problems to their business for their own protection. That's all I'm saying.